Alright, we are going to perform Vivaldi's Four Seasons for our last classics concert. And as you probably all know, Four Seasons is one of those ultimate hits. Vivaldi wrote it, well, the beginning of the 17th century, Baroque composer. He himself actually taught for 30 years at an orphanage with children, and he composed for children and conducted those orchestras. And one of the works was the Four Seasons. Now, as you can imagine, I'm not giving anything away if I'm telling you it's about summer, autumn, winter, and spring, right? Alright, so 4 movements, each one now creates those little miniature jewels, miniature programs about each season. And the amazing thing is that Vivaldi was able to create sound effects through the string instruments of the barking dog, of thunder and lightning, of bees flying around, of leaves rustling in the air, sounds of the icy cold. So it was completely innovative what he did at that time to create a sense of feeling of the seasons and to kind of make us shiver or sweat. And it was amazing and genius way of creating those sounds with the strings of the time. The Four Seasons are going to be performed by our concertmaster Gregory Lee. He actually studied at Juilliard, and he has one of those upbringings. His parents didn't want him to become a musician, yet he pursued, he persisted, he was obsessed with classical music, and now is, well, a professional musician and is going to do a beautiful job with the Four Seasons of Vivaldi. The second piece on the program is Brahms' First Symphony. It's a work that is really close to my heart. German Romanticism based in the classical structure. Now, Brahms had this big thing hanging over his head for many years that he was considered, Schumann considered him officially the successor of Ludwig van Beethoven. And Schumann didn't say this privately. He actually wrote in the most important classical music paper at that time this article declaring Brahms the official successor of Beethoven. Well, guess what? It's very nice, of course, for Brahms, but then it created this huge pressure for him to create music that was worthy enough to be Beethoven's successor, which meant that Brahms was 41 years old when he wrote his first symphony. Now, with Brahms, many melodies are very emotional, but they're hard to sing. They're more like little motifs that create an extreme tension and a direction between the instruments. Now, it starts in C minor, and what is similar to Beethoven is that it ends in the last movement in C major. Now, this melody is a typical Germanic beautiful melody. Da dee dum ba da 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 dee da dum bum ba dum. Something that he almost mirrored of the Ninth Symphony of Beethoven, this beautiful melody of the Ode to Joy. So here Brahms starts in C minor in the first movement, goes into C major in the last movement, and ends very gloriously. People said his first symphony is Beethoven's 10th symphony. He did it. Brahms did it. He kind of was able to fulfill that prophecy of him being the torchbearer of Germanic music and continuing that lineage that, well, started in a way with Bach, then went through Beethoven, and now Brahms took the torch and continued.